Nice making it into the top 10. How, you ask? By revealing one of his secrets.
Moon!
Hey, that's not the real Moon, right?
Isn't she supposed to be dead?
Who is this guy?
First, the elephant in the room. The late Moon is alive. Just like all things nice, her death was actually a carefully woven lie. So tonight,
So sometimes I can be dumb, and sometimes there's certain storylines and certain things that I don't quite get until like later in the episode that I'm like, oh, that was it the whole entire time. So my moment, and you can't be like, that never happens to me, because it does. It happens to everybody. But my specific moment this episode was the whole Furman stuff and the wolf girl trying to save him. I didn't quite understand it at first. I was like, okay, she was trying to save him so he could become the man that he was before. But what is he now that he wasn't before outside of just simply being a hero? Well, it didn't click until like they showed different clips where it was like he couldn't wipe his ass. And that totally makes sense because for whatever reason, as he transitioned into Furman, right? He went from Fireman to Furman, real weird, bad naming. But when he went from normal guy to Furman, he basically donned this armor set, and I don't know if it was given to him, bequeathed to him, or the way it shattered away after his facade kind of went away a little bit. It tells me that this might have just been something to where the people believed in him in a certain way, and the armor just kind of like found him, if that makes sense. And the reason, again, like I said, I believe it is because once the people's hope in him kind of went away in that moment, it shattered and he was able to bend down and wipe his ass and stuff again. And the wolf girl is the girl that he originally saved that spurred him becoming Furman. So she kind of felt responsible in a way for him becoming what he is. Although he became a top 10 hero and he's done great work and blah, 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 he's lost the person that he was before, which was an already great, fantastic man, a fireman, willing to sacrifice himself for others. So he was already a great man. He just wasn't a superhero. So in her mind, she was, I want him to be the man that saved me. I wanted him again to be the man that was willing to save me as a little girl. Now it's my turn because she feels responsible to save him, which she does. And it sounds like at the end of the episode, Furman has a date. It sounds like he's going to go out with Wolf Girl, which is awesome for those two to come together. I think it's really cool. She's an adult now, totally fine, whatever. And I think that was really cool. And that's what I hope happened. Although they really glazed over the fact that she destroyed like half the city and stuff. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. If anything, they're probably just going to glaze over that story because it looks like they've moved on to the next thing once again. Because Nice's ex-girlfriend, who's supposed to be dead, it looks like the guy, the game show host guy from before, it looks like he found her and he's like, I'm gonna expose Nice and I'm gonna expose whatever her name is and blah 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 once again. And Nice is like, no, my lady, which is gonna be a fun time. So we moved on to that. But again, my slowness was I didn't quite understand, like, what are we saving Furman from? Like, what is the man that he wasn't before? Like, is he just over cocky? Is he over whatever now? No, he wasn't any of that. He was still very much the man that he was, but because of the responsibility dawned on him, he lost kind of like a part of who he was as a person, you know? He's kind of lost that humanality behind him. He's kind of suffering in his own way, but he's suffering so that he can be a hero. And the Wolf Girl saw that with trying to orchestrate this story and stuff, so that he could return to the man that he was with less responsibility. And it sounds like that's exactly what he wanted too. He got to live the life of the hero, but now he's going to be able to live the life of a great man, a once great man, now retired, and maybe find some semblance of happiness and some romance and stuff like that, which is really cool. So I actually really, really enjoyed this episode quite a bit. I love seeing the duality of the different heroes. I choked on my own spit there. Not editing that out. I don't care. I'm a human. And I like seeing that Nice, you know, was trying to find somebody, you know, and he, at the end of the episode, he tried to tell, like, hey, I'm not Nice. And the guy's like, hey, whoever you are, just good luck out there, whatever. So I like that this is the, you know, the lessons that this taught Nice himself. And I like how he's still trying to figure out, like, who am I in this world? You know, am I a hero? am I somebody who wasn't but am now? You know, it's like I'm a perfectionist. I'm a this, I'm a that, you know, but what do I want? You know? And it sounds like he let go, which is the girl. It sounds like he let go what he wanted. He just needs to figure out a way to actually get it again. So maybe this is going to be a new opportunity. Regardless though, To Be Hero episode 3 I thought was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. Much better than episode 2. I wasn't a big fan of episode 2. You guys heard my feedback last week. My review last week wasn't that great. I think this one was an easy, I don't want to overpraise it. I think it was like a good 7 or 8 out of 10 this week. I probably say this one was an 8 out of 10 because I was really into the episode quite a bit. So I think this was an 8 out of 10 episode. And I think based on the first 3, I think we're rocking at about like a 7 out of 10 so far for To Be Hero, which is pretty good. Don't let that 7 sway you. It's very rare that, you know, animes are 9s and 10s. 8s even are really like, it doesn't happen very much. But 7 out of 10 is a really good one this season to watch. So anyways, my friends, I'm going to see you guys next week for episode number 4 of To Be Hero. Glad that this one didn't suck because last week I felt a little like, yeah, I'm not that excited to watch this again this week. Episode 1 was awesome. Episode 2 was just very okay. You know, very 5 or 6 out of 10. Like, it was just okay. And this week was much, much better. So I'm glad that it kind of brought me back. Because now next week I could be excited to see, okay, what's going to happen now? Because I just didn't feel that jumping into today's episode. I didn't feel like that excitement of like, oh, I can't wait to watch it. You know what I mean? It just felt like, yeah, all right, let's watch. Let me check this off my box, off my list. And I felt much better after it. So I'll see you guys next week for episode 4. Happy Easter. Peace out, my friends.